Good day. My name is John Rahaim, Homeland Security Director for Emergency Preparedness in St. Bernard Parish. Before we get into President McInnis' weekly update, just wanted to give you a short update on what's going on in the tropics. As you well know, currently we have Tropical Depression 8, which is in the Gulf, and is expected to develop into a tropical storm sometime Friday afternoon and make landfall in Texas. For the next few days, we should be seeing above average amounts of rainfall and high tides on the eastern shores of southeast Louisiana. That's the time of the year we're in, coming into July and August, September. Things ramp up, the peak being on September 9th. Now also, if you take a look out there, there's Tropical Storm Gonzalo, which is quite a ways east of here, but however, we are following it because it is due to get into the Gulf sometime early next week. We'll continue to monitor that and keep people apprised of what's going on. Remember to listen to your local elected officials and emergency managers for the latest information on what's happening and what actions to take if something were to arise. Just a reminder also, if you do need help evacuating, in case we do evacuate the parish, you can go to St. Bernard Parish's website on the Homeland Security page, and there are forms to fill out for what we call the Critical Transportation Needs Program. That's a program where we take people out of the parish who cannot evacuate for reasons such as no funds, no vehicles, or if you have a medical need and are dependent on ambulance transport. Those forms will be filled out. You can send them back to us. We'll put you on the list to make sure you get evacuated out in case you don't have a way out.
Good morning to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Today is July 23rd, Thursday. I'm going into a weekend with some storms approaching, and it's going to be coming in for us to be looking at and monitoring. But we're going to start off our update today with the prayer for our community, for those who have lost their lives and their families, and for our community and this worldwide pandemic where we can get through this and we can make this COVID-19 disappear through prayer. Thank you. We're going to start out with our update on the COVID-19. Wanted to make sure the first thing that I speak with the citizens of St. Bernard Parish is Governor John Bell Edwards has made his decision to extend the restrictions in phase 2 through August 5th. So we have a little work to do. Our numbers are such where we have to get out of this increasing positive tests before we can even think about moving into phase 3. So I'm going to get into the numbers a little bit more later, but I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that gatherings of over 50, whether it's indoors or outdoors, is prohibited. We have our blessing coming up on August 1st and August 8th. Hopefully we'll find out some good news on August 5th, but for the blessing on August 1st, we are communicating with the organizers and they're going to let us know what we're doing there. So also we are required now to wear a mask when we cannot socially distance. And we've talked about all of the enforcement stuff with the mask and what people are doing and are reporting businesses and so forth. Just remember, businesses do not have to require you to wear a mask in their business. Just don't go in there if you don't want to. Their employees are required. So there are different policies at different stores, and they have that leeway to allow you in without a mask or not. So, but they don't have that luxury when it comes to their employees. They're expected to make sure that they keep their customers safe. So that is extended through August 5th. The numbers, there are so many numbers that are going around. I just wanted to kind of bring some perspective to the citizens of St. Bernard of what's happening here. So right now in St. Bernard Parish, 11% or so of the people who are being tested or testing positive, right? So that number's up from last week and whatever that percentage was, but they monitor that, right? So 10% of the people or 11% of the people, when they go get tested, are testing positive here in St. Bernard Parish. So here in St. Bernard Parish, we have 874 positive tests and 24 deaths. The 874 positive tests, if we estimate we have 50,000 people here in St. Bernard Parish, is a 1.7% of our population. Our deaths are at 0.048% if you look at our population here in St. Bernard Parish. So that's less than 0.5% of deaths when you look at our population. But if you compare the deaths against the positive tests, it's around 2.7%, right? So, that number of deaths, when it hits home, all of the wearing the mask, the social distancing, the washing your hands becomes more and more important, right? So we just want to make sure we get out this message and we try to put some of these numbers in perspective. In the governor's order, I get a lot of phone calls. Why doesn't St. Bernard Parish opt out of the restrictions? Well, we cannot. The only parishes, and there are 3 of them in Louisiana, that can opt out of the restrictions, and this is a percentage that is given down, passed down by the CDC. And what it is you cannot have more in the last 2-week period, and that moves every day. For the last 2-week period, you cannot have more than 100 positive tests per 100,000 people. So if we have 50,000 people, we cannot have more than 50 positive tests in the last 2 weeks. And just to give you an example, we've had 98 from the 15th through the 21st, right? So we're not even close to being able to opt out of the governor's restrictions with the face mask, with the bars being closed, and the 50, no more than 50 people gathering for one event. So I hope that puts it in perspective when you hear people talk about that. We are doubled what we need to do. The numbers aren't huge. It's 98 over the last 2 weeks. And we need to be at 50, right? So, yesterday we saw the numbers go down a little bit from what we were normally getting in the last couple of weeks. I hope that's a trend here in St. Bernard Parish. But we're still finding, people are starting to test positive. People are starting to feel some symptoms throughout our parish, and I know everyone is starting to see that. We don't have a whole lot of people seriously being sick and admitted to the hospital. So I want to talk about our hospital a little bit. Our census is doing well. People are not seeking treatment for all of their ailments and for one reason or another, and they're becoming hospitalized, right? Not for COVID, but for your diabetes, for your heart disease, or some of the other problems that you're having. You need to go see your doctor if you're feeling sick or if you're having problems, and we need to take care of ourselves and not 100% worry about this COVID-19. Our hospital, since May 22nd, has been COVID-free. We have had COVID patients come to our hospital, but we're sending a lot of them home with symptoms, and they're not being admitted. So while we do have COVID-19 in St. Bernard Parish, and while we are experiencing some people showing up at the hospital with COVID-19, they are not being admitted at this time. So our hospital system is not, we have great capacity right now. We're in no danger of being overwhelmed here in St. Bernard Parish. with the spike of positive tests going on here in St. Bernard Parish and throughout Louisiana and throughout our country right now. So we wanted to make sure everyone knew we have beds available. And please don't delay care, and take care of yourself. Seek treatment if you're feeling symptoms of any kind. So that's our COVID-19 update today. I wanted to make sure I again stress the point that our coastal team right now is working on comments to send to the Corps and to CPRA about a diversion project that's going to be placed in Plaquemines Parish. We've had some questions. People want to see where that diversion is going to be and the impact area. We are working on that right now, and we're going to send that out to people who inquire in comments for this update. So I know we have one that we're working on right now. Rachel's going to try to get that information and maybe a depiction of the project and to send that out. We also can make comments to the Corps and to CPRA by email, by phone, and by mail. And you should be seeing that right now on your screen. So we really appreciate your consideration of sending comments in to the Corps and the CPRA. So with that said, I want to thank the Louisiana Crawfish Festival for continuing to provide funds to needy causes here in St. Bernard Parish. Cisco Gonzalez Jr. is now doing a fundraiser. Please go to their website and see all of the people who are being generous, that they're already at 30% of their goal. We have more needs in St. Bernard Parish now than ever because of what's been going on here, especially with the COVID-19. And for their toy giveaway this year, we want to make sure that all of our children in St. Bernard Parish get what they deserve during that time and that no one is left out. So please remember the Louisiana Crawfish Festival and go to their website and donate. If it's the $5 entry fee that you pay to get in the Crawfish Festival, just donate that. It's much appreciated. And here in St. Bernard Parish, I know how well we give to these type of causes, and I know this one will be no different. So with all of that said, we'll see you next time for the update. God bless each and every St. Bernard citizen.